From the octagon fire to the studio mics, tune in weekly, we're dropping the spikes, analyzing every punch, every kick that lands. Maniacs in the game, playing with fans' demands. Ken's got the insight, Joe's got the flair, mapping out the fights will take you anywhere. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up, guys? Back again. MMAniacs Podcast. Joined as always by my buddy Bare Knuckle Ken. What's up, buddy?
What's up there, man?
Oh, just got back from training. You know, on Wednesdays I don't really get to spar because I got to get back in time for the show. But so for the new year, we took a break over Christmas. Like after a week after promotions, we got like 2.5 weeks off. And I was really hoping that during that time my neck would heal up and I could get back to like rolling hard again, you know. But that hasn't been the case. And so I haven't really been able to spar since not full spar since the new year started. But thankfully, Professor, you know, we've been doing half guard this month. And so Professor, like, he does this drill where you start from we'll do the whole class. We'll do techniques from half guard, right? Both top and bottom. And then at the end of class, like the last 10 minutes, he'll like have one person down, one person up. He'll divide us up into twos. And then you'll go a minute on bottom and then a minute on top. And then you'll rotate partners, you know? So you go through like 5 guys, like Iron Man's basically for wrestling, dude. So, and it's live sparring. So I have been able to get that in at least. And, you know, going for 10 minutes straight, dude, like, I mean, I guess it's not 10 minutes straight because you have the time that it takes to like switch partners, but we're not sitting there like dragging ass, like trying to tie your belt and all that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, you have a couple guys who, you know, they're a little winded, mostly the new white belts, you know, like, but it's like you push yourself through it, dude. And by the 8-minute mark, you're like, fuck, dude, like, you know, but you got to keep going. And so at least I've been able to get that in. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back to like being able to spar full on. Cause you know, after getting my 4 stripes, like I'm ready for that. Well, I'm not ready for that blue belt, but I'm mentally, I'm like ready for it, you know, but you know, skill wise, I know I can, you know, I can tell that I'm not there yet. And so I'm really looking forward to making that jump, you know, bridging that gap to where, you know, I won't feel like an imposter when I get my blue belt. Like I'll feel like,
yeah, okay. I hate to break it to you, buddy. You're gonna feel like that no matter what. You could be a black belt, and you'll still have that fucking shit. You're like, man, do I really know what I'm doing, or did I just get by?
Yeah, I mean, it's true, man. I read it all the time on the BJJ subreddit. Like the imposter syndrome is real, you know. One thing that helps me with that though is that like my professor is very deliberate about promotion, and you know he's not just going to slap a blue belt on somebody because they've been there for 2 years. Like when you get your blue belt from my professor, he believes that you're at that level. And for me, I trust my professor so much, like, I'm so honored and I respect him so much. Like I respect his knowledge in the game. Like the dude's been doing it for damn near 40 years. You know what I mean? Like 35 years. He's been a black belt for like 26 years, dude. Like he's been a black belt, you know what I mean? Longer than most people have been training. So like, if he puts a blue belt on me, I think that I'll feel comfortable that like I'm, you know, I earned that shit, and I'm really am like I could go anywhere, and you know, people may be like, man, that's a shitty blue belt, but they're gonna be like, he is a blue belt though, like he's a blue belt though, like he's not, you know, he's not a 2-stripe white belt that's faking the funk, you know. So yeah, dude. Other than that. Big card coming up in another, you know, week and a half. Huge fight, dude. Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. We're gonna go through the odds, see what Vegas is thinking right now, and then sort of, you know, we haven't made our picks yet. We'll make our picks next week's show. We've kind of broken down the fights a little bit, but we'll make our final picks going into next week. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll break down the odds in that for every fight, and then we'll have to break down the Kayla Harrison fight after, because for some reason that's not listed on the website.
Not even on DraftKings or anything like that?
I haven't checked the other ones. The one I usually use for when we do the money line, for some reason, that is literally the only fight not listed.
Can you open up another tab and check DraftKings? See if DraftKings has it. Somebody has to have preliminary odds at least. And keep in mind, guys, that these odds right now are going to change because, most people don't even bet on a fight until the week of the fight because they want to see how people come in. They want to see how the weight cut goes. And you'll see a real, I don't want to say you'll see a real shift in the odds, but you'll see a lot of the action come in after weigh-ins, like that's when people really, start to feel confident about their bets. And that's when you'll start to see big money bets come in too. But I'm just curious how Vegas, one of the reasons that I like the preliminary odds is because it's not so much based on the betting action, like because not as many people have bet yet. So you're getting Vegas's opinion rather than everybody that's betting's opinion, right? So that's one of the reasons that I like the preliminary odds. DraftKings doesn't have it either?
No, they do not. Yeah, I checked DraftKings and Bet Online. Sorry, we had a comment that we had to get rid of.
Why did we have to get rid of it? Trolling or what?
Yeah, a certain type. That would appeal to a certain.
Somebody's dropping porno?
No. Somebody apparently really likes us, and not in the fun way.
Or are they sending us dick pics or something?
About 2 shades less steps from it.
Well, I just want to go ahead and...
Hey, there you go. I'm glad to see someone from Poland here. I got quite a bit of Polish ancestry myself.
Hey, yeah. Hello, Poland. And I want to throw out there, Joanna Jacek is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I don't know, like I know she's, she has her fan base in Poland, but I've heard that she, there's another contingent in Poland that's not a huge fan of her. I love her, man. She's the boogie woman, and video the other day, like where she was in a bikini out in the snow, and I got to tell you, bro, like there's not a lot of women fighters where I'm like, bro, I'd hit that, but with Joanna, I'll just leave it there.
Welcome to Polish women, buddy.
Joanna's she's a tasty piece, bro. Like in my opinion, but it's just my opinion. And she's a great fighter. So she had a great career. She was the greatest strawweight champion until Zhang Weili came along. Hall of Famer. But hello to everyone who's watching from other places. Like we appreciate you coming and joining us for the show. So if we can't find the Amanda Nunes odds, then let's just go to the next fight. That's kind of a bummer, though. I guess we'll have to break that down next week.
Yep. All right. We will start with.
Let's start with the bottom of the card, and work our way up.
Yeah, okay. We are looking at, let me see, for the bottom, because this one's all over the freaking place. Here we go. All right. Yeah, it is Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva.
I would think that John Silva is favored in that fight.
He is minus 305. We're at Arnold Allen, if I can freaking talk today, is plus 245.
That seems fair to me. Arnold Allen definitely is the underdog in this fight because of John Silva is just an animal, bro, at striking. He has standing submissions. And like, remember, I'm a fan of the Fighting Nerds. Like, I
Mhm.
really like their team. I know they had some setbacks, including John Silva had a setback against Diego Lopez. He got knocked out pretty ugly, but I think he rebounds in this fight, and I think he rebounds in a spectacular fashion. But Arnold Allen is a tough dude. Like, he's tough. He's tough to finish, man. He's a scrappy guy. Like, he's not a stand up. He can wrestle. He's a physically strong guy, like a muscular dude. He's no joke, dude. So, Silva is going to have his work cut out, but I do think that he'll have the definite advantage in the striking department and with his versatility in striking. If Arnold Allen can get him down, that'll be an interesting thing in the fight. Like, if Arnold Allen can take him down, because we saw what he did to Bryce Mitchell standing up, right? He got that standing sort of it was like a Darce guillotine. It was more of a Darce because he had the arm in, but I mean, he choked him unconscious standing up in about 5 seconds, dude. So there's something to be said for that because, okay, it was early in the fight too, right? Like, I'll put it to you this way. Okay, so from a guy who trains jiu-jitsu, right? It's a lot easier to choke someone out in 5 seconds when you've already been rolling for 5 minutes and they're out of breath, right? Because their brain is already starving for oxygen. But when you're early in the fight, 5 seconds is a very, very short time to put somebody out, right? Like, so part of the reason that he was able to put him out like that is because it was a blood choke. Like, so imagine the pressure that he's putting on those carotid arteries, dude. Like, to be able to completely stop the blood flow to the brain and have him out in 5 seconds. So what does that tell you about John Silva's chokes?
That shit's like a damn vice.
He's got a fucking squeeze on him, dude. Don't let him get his arms around your neck because
well, also with it standing, doesn't that put a little bit more pressure on the neck too?
I mean, I don't know. It could if you're, but it definitely does once you're going out. The body goes limp and you're hanging in his arms. But I don't know, man. I don't know if he just got more leverage that way. But either way, he's got a hell of a squeeze, dude. So that's why I'm like, if Arnold Allen is able to take him down, the interesting part of that fight to me is, what does John Silva's jiu-jitsu look like, right? Because he trains with Caio. Like, he trains with Caio. All those guys train with Caio. And I'm pretty sure, I fairly certain that Caio is one of those guys that got his black belt in like 5 years or 7 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too, because I'm 90% sure we looked that up on the show a few shows ago.
Yeah, well, I thought we looked it up, but I didn't. I don't know if we found for sure if he did or not.
But it was in like 5-6 years, something ridiculous.
Yeah, something ridiculous, dude. So that tells you two things about Caio. One, he trained like a motherfucker, because like, you don't, even if you're really good, if you're only training twice a week, you're not getting a black belt in 5 years. Like, that means he was training 6-7 times a week, dude. Like five anywhere between 5 to 7, 8 times a week he was training, dude. Twice a day. And he was also really freaking good. Like, he was a phenom, right? So John Silva trains with him. So it doesn't mean that John Silva is going to be on the same level as Caio, right? Obviously, but it does mean that you're going to pick up a few tricks, man. Yep. So that's an interesting fight, especially if Arnold Allen can find a way to get it down or get him into the cage and smother him in the cage. Like, it's not the kind of fight that I want to see, but I think that's the best path to victory is to try to put his weight on him and wear on him until his striking power is diminished somewhat in the later part of the fight, so you don't get just flash knockout. But it seems fair to me. 305 minus 305 and plus 2, what is it? 245?
Yep.
Seems fair to me. It'll probably change some because I think most, and again, it's just my opinion, but I think most people are going to come in with money on Silva in this one. So I would not be surprised if he ends up a wider favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to bet on John Silva, now would be the time.
Yeah.
Because he's probably going to end up a minus 500 or something,
Well, and we also can't forget that going up until that Lopez fight there, he was on a hell of a trajectory, Silva. He was starting to gain a bit of momentum, and I'm pretty sure we were even talking about, he can be starting to challenge for the title, or at least with the top guys to be in consideration.
Well, if he had beat Lopez, he would be the next title contender. He would have been getting the shot that Lopez is getting next month. That would have been Silva if he had beat Lopez. But unfortunately for him, he didn't. So now Lopez is back against Volkanovski, which dude, the UFC sometimes is kind of frustrating to me, dude. Like, we just saw this fight, and Diego got completely outclassed, completely outclassed. And it's not that Diego's a bad fighter; he's a great fighter. I really like Diego Lopez, and I think he's going to be a champion. But he's not beating Volk unless this is unless in the last 6 months since that fight, Volkanovski just finally went over the edge and he's fucking washed. We're going to see the same exact fight that we saw last time, dude. It's not going to be entertaining. Like, Volkanovski is going to put on another masterclass. And so I'm not really excited about that. Diego winning that fight against Silva was actually, it was good for Diego, but it was bad for the division. We need new challengers. And that's not to say that I think Silva is going to beat Volk either. I'm just saying, it's at least it's a new, fresh matchup. You know what I mean? Volk has beaten a lot of the guys in the top 5. But okay, so let's go on to the next one.
It is Derek Lewis versus Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Yeah, see, so this one, it feels like they're trying to set Cortez Acosta up for, to break into that top 10, top 5. They're trying to feed him the corpse of Derek Lewis. But the thing about Derek Lewis is, even as a corpse, he can still knock you the fuck out.
That's kind of my point of it. Of if you're kind of trying to prop this guy up, you're really going to put him in there with one of the dudes that's got sledgehammers for hands.
The Black Beast, bro. And on a personal note, I just want to say I love Derek Lewis. His personality, dude. Remember when he took his shorts off in the cage? He was like, "My balls is hot." And then another time after, oh, dude, this is even more gangster, right? So he beat the fuck out of Travis Brown, and then who Travis Brown is, right?
Hold on, let me fucking look him real quick.
Travis is Ronda Rousey's boyfriend, right? Or they might be married by now. I don't know. I think they might even have kids. But Travis Brown was with Ronda Rousey. So Derek Lewis beat the fuck out of Travis Brown. And then in the post-fight interview said, "Where's Ronda Rousey's fine ass at?" And it's what's her boyfriend going to do? He just got beat up. You already beat him up, dude. That is the ultimate big dick move. It's also a little bit Ben Roethlisberger-ish, And I don't mean in a rapist kind of way. We're not talking about Ben Roethlisberger's sexual assault cases. We're talking about, there was a story I read about Ben Roethlisberger when he was in college that he was in a bar. He walks up to this guy's girlfriend, starts hitting on her. The guy comes over to him and he's like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing? This is my girlfriend." And Ben's like, "So?" And so the dude's like, so he's like, dude, I don't care who you are. I know who you are. You're the quarterback and all that. That don't matter to me, dude. We could fight if you want. And then Ben Roethlisberger's offensive line, the entire offensive line comes over and is like, you touch him, we're going to fuck you up. So, of course, the dude's got to take the L, right? Like, and so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a Roethlisberger move, isn't it? But not,
Yeah.
I mean, at least he didn't bring the offensive line over. Like, he whooped the dude's ass himself. So it's not quite in that Roethlisberger territory. But it's like, it's definitely a dick move is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a dick move. But I love him for that. You know, it's like, I love him for that. And then there was another fight just recently that he won. And they asked him, you know, so like, what are your plans? You know, who's next? And he was like, my wife is next. He's like, I've been doing training camp. I ain't been able to get no pussy. Like, he's like, I'm going home. I'm about to go 5 rounds with my wife. And she was in the octagon, and she just covered her face like this, like, oh my God, this dude is fucking crazy. Like, I love Derek Lewis, man. But what are the odds on that fight?
Oh, it is Derek Lewis plus 250 and Cortez Acosta minus 310.
I mean, Vegas has a lot of confidence in this Acosta dude, like, because Derek Lewis still has dynamite in his hands. I know he's old and he's, you know, he's somewhat washed, but if he connects and, you know, this dude's got to be perfect for 3 rounds. It's not easy to do against Derek Lewis. But Derek Lewis has been knocked out before, too. So if this dude's got dynamite in his hands, I mean, it's heavyweight, dude. You don't even have to have dynamite.
Yeah, all you got to do is just roll that hip a little bit and you're dropping somebody.
Yeah, you're dropping somebody. But Derek Lewis is a live dog in that fight. That's for sure, dude. Like, and the thing about Derek Lewis, every time you try to bury him, every time you try to put the last little bit of dirt on his grave, it's like the Undertaker, bro. The hand pops up out of the grave, and it's like, nope, I'm still here, dude. Every time they try to sacrifice him to the up-and-comers, he ends up knocking one of them out, you know, or beating a guy he shouldn't beat.
Well, what's funny is I was on YouTube earlier, and the UFC page itself had a poll on who had the most dangerous hands in UFC right now. And he was still listed there. Hey, hold on. Let me rephrase that. He ranked number 2 on the list, at least at the time when I saw it. He was only behind Ilya.
I was gonna say Ilya's got to be number 1, right?
Oh yeah. And who do you think I voted for?
Gee, let me think. But yeah, Derek Lewis, dude, he's got crazy power, crazy hands, dude. So he's a live dog in that fight for sure. What's the next one?
Is Sean O'Malley versus Son Yadong.
See.
Oh, they think this one's real close.
Yeah, of course they do. I don't, but okay.
Sean O'Malley minus 198 and Son Yadong. Wow. Yadong San, if I can say it right, is plus 164.
Song Yadong, right?
Yadong San.
Spell it.
Oh, no, they have it for some reason they listed it backwards. Yeah, it is Son Yadong.
Yeah, they have it as
everybody else is listed first name, last name. For him, they reversed it.
Yeah, they have Yadong Song, right?
Yep.
Well, that's because he's Chinese, dude, and they put their surname. They put their surname first, or I think so. It's like the opposite of America. Like, so Wei Li is actually, you know, we call her Zhang Wei Li, but in the Chinese it's Zhang Wei Li, but if it would actually be Wei Li Zhang, right? Because Zhang is like her last name, and Wei Li is her first name, I believe.
Okay.
But the Chinese do it differently, so they put their surname first, I believe. So yeah, so it makes sense. Song Yadong. So I'm surprised that the odds are that close. I think O'Malley's going to run over him, honestly, and I think that the UFC knows that, and I think that's why they made that fight, because they're trying to, now that Petr Yan is the champ, Sean O'Malley has a quote unquote victory over Petr Yan. They're like, we need to get him a victory so that we can. They're giving him the Conor McGregor, basically. Like they're like, look, you come in and fight Cowboy Cerrone, even if you haven't fought in 3 years. You come in, beat Cowboy Cerrone, and you get a title shot against Khabib. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're doing here with O'Malley. It's like, we know Merab absolutely wiped the fucking mat with you, but if you can beat Song Yadong, we'll give you a shot at Petr Yan, dude.
So what? Merab can kick his ass again?
Well, Merab's not the champ, though. And
I'm saying you got to assume he would be the number one contender at that point.
I mean,
to me, I think you got to give him the rematch.
I agree. I think Merab absolutely deserves the immediate rematch, but I don't know if that's best for Merab, to be honest with you. Like, I think Merab trying to defend the title 4 times in a year was a bridge too far. Like, dude, it's hard to do 2 training camps in a year, let alone 4, bro. He did 4 fucking training camps. That means he literally spent his whole year in camps or in fights, because a training camp is 3 months, at least 2.5, right? And then you got fight week, and then you fight, and then it's like he's back in the gym on Monday and he's already in training camp for another fight. Like, that wears on the body, dude. So 4 weight cuts in a year, like, so I think Merab should take a break. I think he should rest for 6 months. Let Petr Yan defend the title against someone else, then come back. You know?
So that would set up, if the UFC is trying to do this, is Sean O'Malley fighting Petr Yan for the belt while Merab is taking his rest. And if Sean O'Malley wins, he gets his ass kicked by Merab once he comes back.
I mean, that would be hilarious, because what's Sean going to do? Give up the title? Like, no, he's going to have to fight Merab again. But it's like, dude, imagine how you would feel psychologically. Like, this dude's already wiped you twice. Now you got to go defend the belt against him.
Oh, yeah. And the best part is the second time was even worse.
Yeah. It's like, and didn't O'Malley lose the belt to Merab to begin with? So it's like, dude, imagine you're a 2-time champ and you lost the belt both times to the same guy.
Oh,
3
that's
times
gotta
in
be
total.
disheartening.
3 times in total, but you lost your belt to the same guy twice. Like, bro, it's like, it's not a good look for O'Malley, dude. But I don't know. Like, I definitely think, you know what I think the UFC is going to do? I think the UFC is smart enough that what they're going to do is Sean's going to win this fight. I have almost no doubt. Unless there's some crazy injury where he fucking leg kicks him and, breaks his fucking leg or some crazy shit, Sean's going to win this fight. They're going to put him on the shelf for a minute. I really think they're going to try to push Merab back into that immediate rematch so that Petr Yan can take care of Merab and get him out of the picture, and then they can bring Sean in and fight Petr, because he already has a win over him. They think he has a better shot against Yan than he does against Merab, and it'll be in their opinion, a much more entertaining fight. So that win, against Song Yadong, if Sean gets the win, he can sit back for 6 months. You know what I mean? And they're still going to be like, well, O'Malley is going to get because the UFC is perfectly justified in saying this too. Like, the thing that pisses me off is we know why they're doing it, but they could totally say, well, O'Malley's got the next shot based off of beating Song Yadong. However, there's no way we can't give Merab the immediate rematch, right? Like, so it's like. And they're not wrong, right? Like, you get what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, shit. You give Merab the immediate rematch, he becomes champion. Walking the dog here, and Sean O'Malley beat Sonya, Don. He's all geared up for the next title shot there, and you'd have to go face Marab again.
Yeah, but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think the UFC is going to try to get Marab in there next against Piotr Jan, despite the fact that I feel like he should take some time off, right?
Mhm.
Because they think that without that time off, Piotr Jan is going to win. So it gets rid of Marab, right? If Piotr Jan beats him, now all of a sudden Marab is at the back of the line for a title shot. So then they can slide Sean in there, right? But they're going to give Marab. See, this is the thing: is they'll do it in a backhanded way, and maybe they won't. Maybe I'm just assuming the worst about the UFC, but haven't we seen this before, right? Like, I really feel like they're going to say, well, Marab deserves the next shot. Like, it's only fair with what he did as a champion that he gets the next title shot. No, using that, they're not really doing it because they respect Marab and because, they really believe that. They do believe it, but it's like they're doing it because they know that it's like Marab is going to be still compromised, and so they can get him to the back of the line to where there's no shot that he's going to end up fighting O'Malley.
See, I totally get what you're saying, but I think Marab's the kind of guy that can throw a monkey wrench into that plan. Seeing as how we've seen him do crazy stuff already that damn near nobody else has done. He was this close to achieving history to where it wouldn't shock me if Marab comes back and ends up just snatching that belt from, and now say to him, okay, now what are you going to do with Sean O'Malley?
I don't 100% disagree with you, but I do have to disagree on one point. Marab wasn't this close to making history because that Piotr Jan fight wasn't even close. Like, Jan, they went back. There's a lot of revisionist history where they're like, oh no, it was a close fight. They show you like some of Marab's highlights, the very few, to try to balance it and make it look like it was a close fight. Piotr Jan dominated that fight, dude. He dominated the grappling. He dominated the striking. Like, he whooped Marab's ass. And so this is where I do agree with you. I do agree that Marab is definitely capable of throwing a monkey wrench in the plans. The thing I don't agree on is that going into, if this is the fight to be made with Marab and Piotr Jan, this is the first fight for Marab in a while where he's the underdog for me.
You got to remember, though, that this fight that he just had with Piotr Jan there, this was the fight that we saw Marab kind of fight outside of his style. He went in saying to everybody, I'm going for a finish. He admitted that he is going for a finish, and you could tell watching it that he was trying to go for the finish at multiple points. And I think that threw him so far off of his usual game plan that it just kind of fucked everything up.
That's another valid point. I don't think Marab is going to be looking for a finish in this fight. I think he's going to go back to his usual grind him out style. But I still think he's got to be the underdog in this fight. Like,
I would agree with you just because Piotr Jan did get a legitimate victory against him and he's the champ. So Marab, you've done a whole bunch and I've become quite the fan of him too, but face facts, dude, you lost. So for the rematch, I can see him being the underdog and not have one problem with it. Oh, okay, there you go. You were frozen there for a bit.
And especially because Piotr Jan has a significant striking advantage. But see, the thing about Jan, it's like Jan is an incredible boxer. Like, he's probably next to Ilya, he's probably the best technical boxer in the UFC, dude. And if you don't know,
are you forgetting about Max?
No, I'm not. I'm saying,
you think he's better than Max?
I think he's in that conversation for sure. I think 1A, 1B. Like,
okay.
Go back and watch some of Piotr Jan's fights. Like, watch his technical boxing, dude. He was a boxer before he was an MMA fighter. Like, he's got tremendous hands and technical boxing, but he's also a fucking amazing grappler, dude. He's an amazing wrestler. He might be the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC. And that's just me, like, me being honest. Like, he's not my favorite fighter. I like Petr Yan. I think he's a tough guy. He's a great fighter. I wouldn't say that I'm in his fan club, you know, just because, like, there's other people. Like, I don't have a huge selection of favorite fighters. You know, it's like there's fighters that I like, and then there's fighters that I love. And there's only a couple of fighters that I love. You know what I mean? Like, I like Petr Yan, but I don't love Petr Yan, you know? Like, I like Merab, but I don't love Merab, you know? Like I love Poatan, you know? I love Alex Pereira. That motherfucker is a beast.
See that's where we're reversed. I like him a lot, but he's not one of my favorites, to where Merab and Ilya are one of my favorites where you just like them.
See, I love Paddy Pimblett, dude. Like, I love Paddy. I
See,
do.
I like him. Believe me, I love that cocky, arrogant attitude he's got.
Yeah, I like Paddy, dude. He's slowly becoming one of my favorites, dude, especially because of his jiu-jitsu. But you know, I definitely think Merab is the underdog going into that fight. And I hope that the UFC doesn't do that. I'm pretty sure they will, because I can see them angling O'Malley back into the title picture, and they're giving him the Conor McGregor treatment, and I don't like it, because Merab is a deserving champ, and he, you know, like, he doesn't deserve to get done like that. But I kind of feel like they did it to Aljamain Sterling. They basically made him fight injured, and knowing that he was going to lose the belt, because they wanted to put the belt on O'Malley, you know. And what happened? O'Malley won the belt. Like, there's a precedent for it. And it just so happens that Merab and Aljamain at the same gym. They train at Serra-Longo together. In fact, Aljamain went up to featherweight because his reign at that bantamweight was over, and he was like, no, it's Merab's time now. Like, I'm not going to try to get the belt back. I'm going to move up and let Merab come in and be champ, you know? So, and they wouldn't fight each other because they're such good friends, Merab and Aljamain. So, yeah, dude, I could definitely see, and Merab and Aljo are kind of similar fighters, dude. Like, they don't call Aljo the human backpack for no reason, dude. Like, you know, like he's been shit on for his lack of finishes, right? But sort of, I think he earned his respect as the bantamweight champ, though, like, because he went on a run where, I mean, he beat guys like Henry Cejudo. You know, he won the title from Petr Yan. And then he faced Petr Yan in the rematch, and he won the rematch by decision. It was a very close, contested decision, but he won the decision. He went on a little run that was very respectable. Like, I think, because remember when he won the title by disqualification, people were like, dude, this is the weakest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, right? Like, he got kneed in the face when he was down, and then he was like, yeah, no, I can't continue. And so he won the title on a disqualification. And people were like, dude, that is the weakest shit. But what is he supposed to do? Like, Ken, tell me the truth. If you're in an MMA fight and your hands are on the ground, you're a grounded fighter, and this dude just hauls off and just fucking blasts you with a full-on flush, no kind of deflection, no kind of, just flush knee to the face. Are you going to say, no, I'm fine, I'm just going to continue? No, fuck no, right?
No, oh, fuck no. You want this fight? Book the rematch when I get that championship money.
Exactly, dude. Like, I'm sorry. And it's not even about just getting, it's like, dude, I'm concussed right now. Like, you take a full flush knee in the face from a UFC fighter, you're going to get a concussion, dude. Like, Aljo was knocked out, like, from that for a minute. He was seeing stars, dude. Like, so for him to try to continue that fight compromised, it's basically rewarding Piotr Jan. Like, oh, now you get to fight a compromised fighter for a title defense for the rest of this fight, right? Like, leading to your victory. And now Aljo goes to the back of the pack because he lost his title fight. You know, I don't blame Aljo one bit for that. Was it kind of a chicken shit move? I won't say chicken shit. It was a smart business decision.
There you go. I was just about to say those exact words.
It was a smart business decision, you know, and Tom Aspinall made a smart business decision too.
Well,
You know?
shit, did you see all the surgeries he's had to get on his eyes?
I knew he had one.
He's had either 2 or 3 now.
He might be.
So yeah, there's talk that once he's healthy, he might go into boxing instead.
No eye pokes.
Yep.
Dude, I mean, it's crazy. Like, that would be terrible though, because his whole reign.
I was just about to say too, not to interrupt you there.
No,
but
you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
we sat there and talked about how much of almost a barren wasteland the heavyweight division is. You take him out of it, what do you got?
I mean, it's like you're at a house party and there's one fine chick and a bunch of ugly chicks, right? And then the fine chick's like, "Hey, I gotta go home, guys." Like, that's what we're left with, you know. So it's like you got a bunch of guys drinking a bunch of beer trying to like make these ugly chicks look decent, dude. Like, it's, can I get drunk enough by 2:00? You know, like that's what it is, man. Like, and it's unfortunate. I hope that Tom's reign doesn't end that way. Because like we've talked about it, I know that time will not be kind to Tom Aspinall in this sense, because right now the heavyweight division is set up for him to have a monster title reign. It's set up for him to defend that title 5, 6, 7 times, which is unheard of. The record is 3 by Stipe Miocic, right? 3 straight defenses. Heavyweight has always been, because heavyweight is heavyweight and one punch can change anything. It's always been that way. Tom is in a position where he could literally defend that title 5, 6, 7 times, set a record that will never be broken, right? But then later on down the road, you know, because in that time, of course, people are going to say, "Oh yeah, Aspinall's the greatest heavyweight ever. He defended the title 7 times, this and that." But what I mean by time will not be kind to him, you know what I mean. Later on down the road, people are going to say, "Well,"
they start picking apart his opponents.
Yeah, the heavyweight division was a barren wasteland at that time. So how good was Tom Aspinall really? We'll never really know, because he didn't get to fight John Jones, and you know, like.
What? Like that was just a happenstance of, oh, he just didn't get to fight John Jones.
No, I'm not saying it was. It was absolutely a duck by Jones, but I'm just saying that Aspinall John Jones is right about one thing. John Jones doesn't need Aspinall. Aspinall needs John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it again for the 5 millionth time. John Jones is an absolute scumbag. He's a waste of human flesh. But because look, you got guys like remember old WWF, right? When a guy's like about to retire or he's about to leave the organization, what does he do? He drops the belt. You know what I mean? He drops it because it's the honorable thing to do. Like, it's a time-honored tradition, right? John Jones, he benefited when John Jones was a young guy. He was a bum killer, dude. Like, and when I say bum, it's like, yeah, he killed Hall of Fame bums. You know what I mean? But it's like, he wasn't fighting prime Shogun. He wasn't fighting prime fucking Dan Henderson. Like, he wasn't fighting, you know what I mean? Like, he was fighting the corpses of these guys, dude. You know? And
so then wouldn't that mean that his career went out perfectly, that his last fight was the corpse of Stipe? It started with corpses and it ended with a corpse.
Yeah, but the thing is, John should have been the corpse. Like, it's like give back to the organization and to the sport that paved the way for you to be the greatest, quote unquote, of all time, right?
And I was gonna say, shit, you fight Aspinall and beat him at your age. There's no doubt that you're the GOAT at that point.
You're the GOAT, cemented the GOAT, right?
Yep.
But even if Aspinall beats you, it's like you have the excuse of, well, I was
I'm
a
an old
shadow
guy.
of myself.
Mhm.
I'm an old guy. Of course he beat me. He's the young next up and comer. But it gives Aspinall the legitimacy to start his title reign, right? And it actually shows a bit of class for you, for John Jones, right? It's like for all the haters, and I'm one of them, right? That say this dude is a fucking no good, coke snorting, wife beating piece of shit, right? Like, honestly, although I will say, like, not everybody who snorts coke is a piece of shit. Like, I'm sure we've all had a couple of good times on that booger sugar once or twice, right? Not that I condone that, kids,
No,
but
definitely no.
But like, it would show a little bit of class on the tail end of your career, right? Like, he left the right way. He gave the shot to the young hungry lion, and he won or lost, right?
Mhm.
Like, a loss to Tom Aspinall doesn't destroy John Jones's legacy. I
Mhm.
don't feel like at all, because John fights, maybe not officially, but John lost to Dominic Reyes, definitely. In my opinion, he lost the first Gustafsson fight. So, hey, it's like the Floyd Mayweather thing, like John is in love with the myth of being an undefeated fighter, just like Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd Mayweather wasn't an undefeated fighter because he lost that fight to Jose Luis Castillo, the first fight. Definitely lost. The De La Hoya fight was close, but I'll go ahead and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. But the Jose Luis Castillo first fight, absolutely no way he won that fight. No way.
Mhm.
But anyway, so yeah, dude. Aspinall, I hope it's not the end for him.
Yeah.
Eye problems are rough, dude.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing from it, and this is so speculation, it seems like even though he's had multiple surgeries, it's something he'll be able to recover from. But anybody who says anything on it is purely guessing.
And the thing that kind of bothers me, I don't want to keep going on this, but one thing that just really bothers me about it is people like calling Tom Aspinall a pussy that didn't obviously watch the replay. Like, if you see the slow-mo and you still call that dude a pussy, like,
Second knuckle plus the finger drag across the other eye. Like, what the hell do you expect this guy to do? Hold on, I'm going to fight this fight blind. All right.
yeah, dude, like, it's crazy to me how anybody could say that he's a pussy for that. Like, the push alone, like, to the second knuckle, dude, it's like he's lucky he still has an eye. Like, that easily could have popped his eyeball clean out, dude, or pushed it back into the socket so far, like, where it's like you're blind the rest of your life. Like,
Don't forget, your eye is nothing but a sack of fluid.
right, that's what I'm saying. It could have just exploded his eyeball, pushed his eyeball all the way back into his skull right back here. Like, a lot of things could have happened. And that was deep, dude. That was the deepest eye poke I've ever seen.
And don't forget, it went here, and then he went in more.
Bro, he went deeper. He went deeper than when we were in the 7th grade at the movie theaters with that chick. You know what I mean?
I knew you were going to go there.
I mean, kids these days, I don't think they know what we're talking about, but it used to be a big deal in our day,
Well, they got to skip all the in-betweens, and now with all Netflix and chill, it's just, hey, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. We actually had to work for ours. Knuckle deep, baby. Knuckle up. You actually had to learn techniques too. You remember? Like the payphone? To change out the payphone?
Yeah, yep. But I think we should get back to the UFC before we get ourselves canceled.
Oh man, I don't think they can cancel us for that. But you're right. We'll get back to the
Hey, I was
UFC.
gonna say.
So, what's the next fight on that card?
It's
We went through O'Malley.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje and Patty Pimblett, since they decided not to have the women's fight.
Yeah. So, what is the odds on that fight?
For
I wouldn't be
DraftKings,
surprised if Gaethje is the favorite.
Patty Pimblett is minus 238.
Really?
And Justin Gaethje is plus 195.
What do you think about those odds?
I could see Patty being the favorite, but I would expect it to be a lot closer because this is relatively the first real contest that Patty's had of like the championship contender category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But I think the odds are fair. But the thing is I wouldn't object if it was -2 something for Gaethje and one plus 145 for Patty. I wouldn't object to that either. Like whoever they had as the favorite by that margin, I'd be like, okay, I'm good with that. You know, you heard me just say. I said I kind of feel like Gaethje's going to be the favorite because of his stand-up ability. Like, you know, Patty's going to have to find a way to get this thing down. And
I think that Patty can't rely on his usual, oh, you know, I'll sit here and bane with you for a while, and then once you rock me, I'll go into freaking squirrel mode and drag you to the ground.
You know what? Squirrel mode is actually a great way to put it, because you know, like you see those videos when the squirrel is like jumping all over, like.
Well,
that's Patty, dude.
Then let me give a shout out to where I got that from. The old episode of King of the Hill where you had Dale Gribble yelling squirrel tactics as he runs up the fence over to the telephone pole and up the tree.
Yeah. But you see those videos where like a guy gets attacked by a squirrel and it's like it's up here, then it's down here, it's like crawling through his legs and everything. That's Patty, bro. Like when he gets rocked, that's Patty. He's like, just jumps on, he's like Charles. He jumps on you like a spider monkey and he's just all over you, dude. Like, you know, you're like, dude, am I fighting a fucking octopus? Like, how does this dude have 8 arms? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, dude. So that's his chance. That's his shot. But I also think that Patty's stand-up has improved quite a bit. I think he beat the dog piss out of Chandler. Like, beat the dog shit out of him. Like, so it's an interesting fight. I mean, who do you got in that one? Like,
I don't know who I have yet in it. I'll tell you who I want to win.
Yeah, I know who you want to win for personal, selfish reasons. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll say personal reasons, but not for selfish reasons, because this is a fight that everybody wants to see.
You know what? I'll roll with that. I'll co-sign that. Like, everybody wants to see this fight. Patty needs to win this fight. And I'm sorry, Justin Gaethje. We all love you. We thank you for everything that you've contributed to the UFC over the course of your career. It's been a phenomenal one. But you got to take the L on this one because we need Patty versus Ilya, dude. We need that fight because Ken and I were just talking about this last week. It's one of the only true grudge matches left where these two absolutely do not like each other. They're not going to like each other in the press conference. They're not going to like each other in the octagon. They're not going to like each other after the fight is over. Like, they're not going to be kissing and hugging and, I respect. And no.
We are well past not liking. These two guys absolutely loathe each other.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, after the fight, there's not going to be this hugging and kissing and, respect. Like, they might fight in the parking lot after the fight.
I 100% believe this is one of the very few matches that if, and this is a huge if it was legal to do so, they would have a fight to the death.
Yeah. Or go bare knuckle. Like, I mean,
hold on. You really want to have Ilya bare knuckle? He's gonna fucking kill him.
dude. Like I said, like Patty's got nuts, bro. He would do it. I just don't like Patty's chances in a bare knuckle. I don't like his chances, bro. Like, especially if it's bare knuckle boxing and there's no like, yeah, it's Ilya's fight, dude. But because in my opinion, Patty is going to have to use his jiu-jitsu to win this fight, but there's always that Jiminy Cricket when you wish upon a star thing. Like, what if Patty just happened to like land flush and just knock Ilya the fuck out, dude? Like, oh my God, the whole MMA world would be on fire, would it not?
Would fucking flip. Because Ilya looks like he's the next fucking great fucking fighter with everything he's been fucking putting out, fucking not even just recently, pretty much his whole freaking career so far. And to get a knockout like that against a caliber of opponent of Ilya who's just been bodying everybody, dude, his popularity would fucking skyrocket.
Just his popularity, it's like it would light the whole world on fire, dude.
Do you think if he does that, he'd have a hotter run than McGregor?
How could he? Well, I don't know, because Aldo was so dominant, dude. When McGregor beat him, Aldo was so dominant, and the way that McGregor beat Aldo was so dominant. Like, bro, 13 seconds in, just flatlines him with one shot. I don't care. Patty's not flatlining him with one shot, dude. Like, I'm saying, they're brawling, they're doing their thing, and all of a sudden Patty just happens to land a good one and puts him down and finishes him, like not even a one-punch knockout per se, but just Patty actually happens to win the stand-up in that instance, to land a punch of some significance that rocks Ilya and he hammer fists him, whatever, to finish him that way, in my opinion, would set the world on fire. Like, Patty wouldn't have to say enough. He could just walk around like this for the rest of his career. Like, and what's Ilya gonna say? Like, I now granted, this is like not super likely to happen, but anything could happen, and I'm just throwing it out there. Like, what if Patty managed to knock out Ilya, bro?
Imagine what happens if you get fucking Ilya going in there and we get like a 3-4 second knockout and he just drops Patty like that. What do you think that does to Ilya's career?
Not as much as it does to Patty's career.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just walking the dog here.
No, yeah, not as much as no. What I'm saying is, like, I'm talking about if Ilya starches him in 4 seconds. I'm not throwing Patty, knocking him out back in there. I'm saying if Ilya goes in there and starches Patty in 4 seconds, it doesn't do as much for Ilya as it does for Patty, because Patty at that point is the laughing stock, dude. Like, it's gonna be like he gets starched in 4 seconds, bro. Like, it's
after
like
talking all that shit.
Yeah, but let's be honest. He's not the only one talking shit. Ilya's done his fair share.
Absolutely.
And throwing cheap shots too. You've seen the video. I don't know how you can still defend Ilya, but he's Ilya threw a sucker ass punch.
You want to know how I like the guy and I'm fucking loyal, damn it.
Yeah, dude. He threw a sucker ass punch though. That was a Sunday punch if I ever used to call them Sunday punches, bro. That was a Sunday punch if I ever seen one, dude. Like, Patty wasn't even looking, and all of a sudden it's like, he's lucky he caught. I don't know if it was the breeze coming or whatever. He like sensed it, his spider sense tingled, and he like backed up, because that was gonna be a heater right on the chin, dude. Like, we might not have got to see the fight just because, like, you get knocked out in a jewelry store, all of a sudden, who knows, man? Like, who knows if that fight even happens, right? Oh, man, we're out of time, guys. We'll see you next week. We'll break down the Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison odds if they're posted, which they are.
You know, assume they'll be, but it's weird that none of these sites have them.
Honestly, what does that tell you?
That this fight's going to be insanely close.
I think that's what it's saying, is that Vegas thinks this fight is too close to call at this point. They're like, we don't know. Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting with Amanda Nunes' legacy, like that they don't have a favorite. But nevertheless, thank you guys. Come back next week, and we're gonna make our picks for the 324 card. Thank you for joining us. like and subscribe on YouTube or X or wherever you're watching us. And we'll see you next week.